Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today we're going to have a bit of an experimentation, throwing a few things down this massive vertical slope. So let's get started. Here I've got around 100 balls in a mixture of colours, and let's just release the thing that's holding them there and see exactly what's happened here. So we've got the variety of the balls rolling down this hill. Let's just see what sort of damage and destruction they do. Most of the balls are still managing to roll. These particular blocks, oh god, that one block's completely shredded itself. We've hit ourselves a Henry. They've knocked the smaller ship off. Let's have a look at this. Beautiful amounts of carnage are occurring here. A lot of the balls are falling down, breaking the floor of the base. Rather interesting results. That one seems to have phased through the actual voxel terrain itself. But what I quite like is how these balls are actually deforming when they're impacting like an eggshell. But you'd expect heavy armor to be a little bit more resistant than that. Let's have a quick look at the ship. Henry there has managed to crash himself into the hill after he got hit by one of the balls. And the truck had the same sort of fate. Let's experiment throwing some other things down here. So next up we have the longest road train that I ever managed to build. And it's going to take a second for this thing to load in. But if it spawns incorrectly, it should be ultimate carnage. This thing has so many trailers. God, it's taking its time. There we go. Let's see what exactly happens here. The trailer's going to stay intact. Oh god, it looks like some of the trailers have already detached. It's become like multiple trucks going down at once. And in some departments, them wheels are going bloody fast. Let's see if we can get down at the bottom and see what's happening. Oh, it looks like it's going to go for a ramp. Oh, it's punched right through the rock. Oh, even more carnage down at the bottom. And amazingly, Space Engineers is doing pretty well to cope with it. I say that as it's doing a little bit of lag. We've got some more trailers coming down the hill at the back here. Everything's piling up at the bottom. More sparks. The odd bit of lag, mainly just to the amount of parts that are occurring when these ships are breaking up. Wheels are still coming off. And I thought the road train, to be honest, would stay more intact. But it doesn't look like that's the case as we kind of tore over the parts at the bottom. Then we'd see something very similar to this. Oh, it looks like the wheels are actually staying intact for this one. Very nice. It looks like we've got the first obstacle coming up, though. It's going to hit Henry, poor little guy. Oh, no, it's totally missed him. Oh, it seized through the ground. Let's see what's happening here. It's gone into a little bit of slow motion. A lot of explosions happening back there. And it's phasing through the ground itself. Oh god, that's not good at all. There's sparks flying everywhere. Ultimate carnage. Oh, let's actually have a look what it's done here. So it's actually caught up. It phased through a lot of the ground. And then it decided to catch up with the sim speed. So you would not want to be inside there if the Jawas decided not to put the handbrake on. Wow, that's just like morphed into the side of the earth now and trying to get itself back out. Anyway, let's throw some more stuff down the hill. I've got plenty of things. So next up, I thought we'd attempt to throw down the tentacle ship. Now, I know this thing won't roll, but it should be quite interesting just to see what happens to them tentacles as it decides to go over. So the actual welding arms have already popped up on both sides. And we've got these like slinky chains that are actually forming off to the side. They're actually doing quite well. They're not taking too much damage. I think this one's going to get absolutely wrecked though when it hits something down here though. Okay, so it's broken that. It's fallen into like 100 little pieces. Oh, it's gone all laggy. Horrible. You can see all the little arm bits and stuff have broken off into the hole at the bottom here. And I'm getting probably less than one frame. So we tried ourselves a big rover, but I want to see how a car with a very good low center of gravity will actually handle this slope. So if you were actually driving down this, what the biggest problem would probably be is the speed and grip, causing you to probably spin out. As you can see, this car here, as you get a little bit too much speed, wheels are getting a lot better in Space Engineers, but they're still quite filled with a lot of issues. This car's actually surviving really well. It might actually make it to the bottom without completely blowing up, but it kind of impacted the bottom and exploded. Let's continue throwing a few more cars down here just to see how they react and how they move. The biggest fear that I have is when you throw these cars, so let's just do a few of these cars for the moment, like so. And like there's going to be a car race going down here. You can see by testing this out how they spin and then they roll. So one of the main reasons of this test was to test out performance of Space Engineers. I didn't really expect to be showing you this, guys, but who doesn't like watching things randomly be thrown off a cliff? So we've got a whole collection of parts down here, and I'm still managing an extremely high sim speed and frame rate. So this is extremely good. I mean, everything is technically static at the moment, and as things were throwing down the hill, I did notice a significant drop when they got to the bottom and started breaking apart. But once the breaking apart caught up with the sim speed, it seemed to do extremely well. You can see in this massive hole here, we've got a whole collection of parts. It just looks like a scrapyard for used ships. Oh, did this car survive complete? Oh, it missed one wheel, but it managed to make it down past that lower area. Anyway, just a quick random video to show you as I was doing some testing with the lag and sim speed. Anyway, I'll see you next time, and thank you for watching.